BYU in the blue to serve to open up set number 2. Penn State in white. Beth Mullins, Karch Karai, Holly Rowe at the national championship. Micah Hancock looking to Grant to start things off. For a report from that Penn State huddle, here's Holly.
Well, Nia Grant was poked and prodded by her coach, who is so good at pushing the buttons of his players. Yesterday at practice, he really worked with her with that quick middle to find those seams. He said it'd sure be nice if we saw some of that Saturday night. But keep in mind, she should have been graduating from Penn State today, missing commencement to play in this game. I think she's pretty happy where she's at.
Yeah, watching practice yesterday, Holly said she had a feeling that Grant might be able to do something special. And for a lot of these student athletes on both sides, missing out on graduation, missing out on the opportunity to finish out classes at home. Some of them for BYU were actually taking finals in the last couple of days. And now here playing tonight for the national championship. Strong serve from BYU and the ace. And a 2-1 lead. That's Tia Welling.
And that's the only way. Good shot from the end zone. You could see those 2 passers for Penn State. Megan Courtney and Dominique Gonzalez. And tough serving can give them lots of trouble. There's a big space between them to attack. BYU mostly unsuccessful until that last serve.
Hancock to the freshman Franti, right through the block. So far they are finding seams and gaps.
Yeah, it's not only behind the setter, but this time in front, late arriving middle. Hampson taking a little more line, and that's called hitting the daylight. First thing you want to do as a hitter is attack that space. If there's daylight, go after it.
Robbins Hardy will set the middle, and the solo block for Grant.
Nice read by Nia Grant. She doesn't jump until she knows the set is going to the middle hitter, reaches the correct way, sees exactly where that hitter's swinging.
Back set for Hampson. She'll work that block and get the point for the Cougars. Hampson, a redshirt senior. She played just basketball last year, led BYU to the Sweet 16, was an All-American. And this year, turned down the opportunity to play for the LA Sparks in the WNBA. She had a commitment. She wanted to come back and play another year of volleyball. And it's been such a good year, Karch, that now after the season, she's got to decide, does she do one or the other or try somehow to do both?
She was talking about it this week. She honestly hasn't made a decision, wants to finish out this season. She's actually going to come train in the USA gym. We've got a training camp in January and then figure some things out. The WNBA season starts later, but she's had a spectacular career. First team All-American this year.
One of the best female student athletes in BYU history when you look back at all the things that she's been able to accomplish trying to cap it with a title. When the tip gets dug up by Franti. Here comes Hampson again. Off the block and out.
That's not the best matchup for BYU. Megan Courtney is one of probably the best left side blocker for Penn State. That time she didn't get her hands across the net until too late. She was swinging at the ball.
Whitney gets the kill.
It's interesting how different players rise to the occasion different nights. 2 nights ago was Megan Courtney. This time, Ayanna Whitney is teeing off on the ball. That her 6th kill so far early in set number 2.
Hampson has 6 to lead the way for BYU. And the ace for Penn State. This is the top serving team statistically in the country. A lot of that is because of Hancock, but the rest of this team pretty good as well.
Yep, we saw Penn State passing with 2. We also see BYU passing with 2. And Penn State is actually going at the libero, who is supposed to be the best passer, that person with a different colored jersey.
Hancock tracks it down, looking for Courtney, and it's returned. Boswell with the block. That's pretty strong right there at 6'4" and 6'7", side by side.
It sure is. The advantage, all BYU blocked that time. A broken play, easy setup.
continues to hammer away next to that antenna. They are setting her up wide, and she's delivering.
And that's a basic tenet in your offense for setters to be aware of. If somebody is having lots of success, they've got a good matchup, keep going with it. BYU unable to stop Whitney.
Hampson out of the back and almost had a collision with the libero.
Yep, and pay attention again. This is the rotation where Hampson's in the back. Alexa Gray is not in the front court for BYU. But they got to be happy to get out of that with giving up only 1 point that series. Here's the slide attack by Boswell coming around off 1 foot. Penn State choosing to go one-on-one with that. Boswell winning that matchup.
Megan Courtney coming off that career high 21 kills in the semis. BYU has been keeping an eye on her. She'll get another swing and doesn't get it. Point Cougars. And BYU up 1 here in the second.
Sure like the defense by Sierra Parker for BYU, lining up nicely on that first swing of Courtney, forcing her into a tougher second swing that went out.
Washington slides behind, and BYU defends it. Hampson lets it rip and got it down inside the block. Point Cougars.
Without Gray having much of a transition there, BYU will set back court to Hampson. A lot to get them out of trouble, and nice read by Boswell all over that. Remember, when Micah Hancock's in the front court as a setter, she can choose to attack the second ball. Boswell all over this. Quick left hand, and the beauty of that is if you read it, nobody's there to help the setter out. Nobody's there to cover that ball. Great block.
Courtney redirected by the setter, Robbins Hardy. They're trying to go over the top of the shorter blocker, and they get the point. Pierce comes on to serve for Courtney. See if they continue to go after the libero Parker, and they do. And it works for them. They don't get the ball into the hands of the setter, BYU, but then Penn State cannot take advantage.
You are right. The server did her job, caused a poor pass. Everybody on Penn State knew it was going out to Alexa Gray, but they couldn't control the defensive effort. It's the first thing you have to do, though, is hit that tough serve, break the other team's offense down.
Popped up by Boswell.
Oh, careful.
Hampson almost came right over the top of her setter and gets the kill as she finds the corner.
Wow, I thought somebody was going to get hurt. I can't believe they didn't communicate well enough for Robbins Hardy to get out of the way, but it confused Penn State, led to the kill.
Robbins Hardy has only been the starting setter for the last few matches. Gets out of the way in time. Jennifer Hampson starting to dominate here in the second set.
Coach of the year.
In just his 4th season, he is a 2-time national champion with the BYU men's volleyball team in 2003 and 2004. A very well-known family of volleyball players and officials. Dad is a world-renowned official, and Sean has 6 volleyball-playing sisters, and one of them is his assistant coach, Heather.
And she, he said, was the biggest hire that he had to make, and they had to make an exception. They have a nepotism policy at BYU, but he said, look, I just can't do it without her. In fact, the other day, he had really kind words when he got that award. He said, she's twice the coach I am, and a better assistant coach than I could ever be.
Well, one of the reasons they've been so successful, you got to credit their AD, Tom Homo, who has been involved with all of the athletics at BYU and knows a lot of these players by name, and In fact, was instrumental in getting Tamber Nobles into school after she had transferred from Northern Colorado. Real family affair in both of these athletic departmts. Sandy Barber, the AD for Penn State, also here tonight. Alexa Gray dug up. Terrific by Gonzalez.
That might have been going out of bounds.
Yes.
Let's see as it comes back over the net. Watch it. Yeah, I think that was going to go out of bounds, but if Hampson didn't know, that's the right call. When you don't know, you got to try and make the play. Don't let it drop.
We'll take a break here in the second set. Timeout BYU. They're up 2, but down a set. On ESPN. Penn State and Gonzalez serving. Off the tape, popped up. Good pancake by Robbins Hardy. Hancock the back set to Grant. Gray gets denied again.
Yeah, what an up by Franti.
Back to Gray, and this time she finds the floor. Her 4th kill of the match. Let's check in with Holly.
Sean Olmstead of BYU was a little frustrated with his team in that last huddle. He said, we've got to keep the ball on them. We keep bailing them out. They are too good to just hand them points. They don't need our help. We got to stay composed and be smarter.
Block able to slow it down. Back to Nia Grant. She'll try again and is successful the second time. Her 5th kill.
Penn State continuing to attack that left side block of BYU. Micah Hancock jumping, trying to attract attention herself. Of course, she's at the service line now, and continuing to set overhead, and they're having a lot of success.
1 point on her 5 serves thus far in the match. For the top server in the country, Franti. Popped up. Gray tips it deep, and they continue to do a nice job containing the Hancock serve.
And Coach Rose is not happy with Megan Courtney. Thought she should have been able to see this play. Watch the early hand come up right there. That is an indication that it's tip, either short or deep. Middle back has to be the second line of defense for the deep one.
Grant again. That has been unstoppable for Penn State thus far.
Well, if I were BYU, I'd move that block in a little. Penn State on that slide, hitting cross court every time inside the block. Unstoppable so far. Tons of success. You got to admire Penn State finding something and sticking with it. Something that works.
The tip by Whitney Young, the sophomore out of Roberts, Idaho, had 7 block assists in the semis. A player that arrived as an outside hitter, they moved her into the middle.
Ooh, that's an easy serve. BYU got to serve tougher than that.
And as a result, Penn State gets the point.
When you see a serve with backspin on it, that's the easiest kind for the receiver to control. What you're trying to do is hit a serve that's flat and it has no spin. Let's see if this one comes off clean, no spin. Better. It'll have a knuckleball effect then.
Franti with the pass. Courtney bumps it all the way across, and the block is there this time for BYU.
But you called it Courtney with a great set, way across the net, 30 feet in the air. This is a skill underappreciated in volleyball, but you have to get your teammate a good swing. A rare time where Whitney dragged the ball into the block.
Hancock goes to Courtney. Got that one over the top. Point Penn State. Lacey Fuller on to serve.
And this is that rotation we're keeping an eye on for BYU. No Alexa Gray on. Jen Hampson in the backcourt. See how quickly they can get out of it without giving up points. Nope. Megan Courtney doing a great job of left side blocker help for Penn State, along with Haley Washington. See 2 blockers up.
Look at the motion from the freshman.
Absolutely. She takes it upon herself to celebrate the successes of her teammates.
Gonzalez couldn't come up with that pass.
So BYU only giving up 1 point.
Yep.
The other day we saw them give up a streak of 4, a streak of 5.
And now Gray comes back into the lineup. Hancock had to go a long way to get it. Now a chance for BYU. Robbins Hardy looks to Hampson, had to attack out of the back.
Nice.
Ford dives to play it across. Gray with the swing and the kill.
And Salima Rockwell is not happy on the sideline for Penn State. Probably right. Early in the play, a contact by the setter, Robbins Hardy, that could have been called a double. Watch the dump.
Hampson was there. She can block from the back row with that size. And a kill for Penn State.
Well, we heard the report from Holly when Sean Olmstead was talking to them in the huddle. You can't give Penn State easy plays. So they come up with the dig, BYU does, but then they made nothing of it. And you give Penn State a second chance, not going to happen.
Pierce serving. Robbins Hardy to Gray, could not get full extension in her arm. Washington against a solo, and that's a mismatch for the freshman who was injured early in the season. Came back to full speed in the Illinois match, the last time they lost, and since she's been at 100%, they've rattled off this 19-match win streak. She's a critical element of their success. Hancock looks to her again. BYU sets Boswell in the middle. And the quick for a point.
I sure like the work Haley Washington's doing, but this time it's Boswell coming down from the block and becoming an attacker. We call that transition in volleyball, and it happens all the time. You have to go from offense to defense, defense to offense very quickly.
Washington gets it stuffed. Hancock on 2. That one won't go. And long from Gray. Penn State within 1.
The right idea by Gray, though. She knew the whole defense of Penn State was shallow. She was aiming for that deep corner.
Gonzalez. They continue to serve Parker. Another quick in the middle. Dug up by Gonzalez. Franti with a chance. Pushes it deep. Good D for BYU. Gray with a swing. Slot and Grant. And even though they are getting out hit here by about 50 points in the set, they are even at 20.
This time it's Nia Grant's turn to come down and hustle from block to offense. Unstoppable behind the setter for Penn State.
Well, how do you deal with the serve of Micah Hancock? BYU's been good at it so far. How'd they get so good? Here's Holly.
Well, Micah Hancock is one of the best in the country with that very interesting jump serve and the funky spin with the left-hander. Well, their coach, Heather Olmstead, is also left-handed for BYU. So she got up on a table. Here she is at practice trying to replicate that serve of Hancock. The spin is there, the height is there, and so far BYU has done a pretty good job handling that Hancock serve thanks to some creative coaching.
And thanks to Holly's iPad for shooting that footage for us.
The high def, I think. Notice how that table with the folding legs, you have to have somebody on each end of it just to make sure the whole thing doesn't collapse. You'd hate to have that.
Love the creativity of both these coaching staffs and their game planning to get ready. You want to try, as the head coach of the U.S. national team, Karch, and winners of the World Championships for the first time, try and take away the other team's biggest advantage and don't let that best player or that best aspect of the game be the one that beats you.
Yep, and we heard that good report about BYU, and really Penn State, that's one of their true strengths, is how well that they can game plan, take away the opponent's strengths, and they're only 1 point on her 6 serves, on her probably 4 service turns so far, but taking away strength and being able to adjust as the match wears on.
4 times in the first set, a couple of times here in the second for Hancock. This is Gonzalez, and a chance for Penn State to take the lead, and Gray says not just yet. Well, the NCAA championship coverage continues with the FCS championship football game for you Saturday, January 10th at 1 Eastern on ESPN2. For more info on the NCAA FCS championship, visit ncaa.com. Your home for all 89 NCAA championships, and BYU gives it right back with a service error, and now the race is on to 25. Gotta win by 2. And here is Hancock with an opportunity. And the error from Micah.
One of the things that's helped BYU this set, Alexa Gray has come alive. 5 kills in this one, although only 1 in the first, but she checks out at this critical time in the game. She's going to have to wait until her location, her position in the rotation gets back to left front.
Hancock looks for the freshman Franti off the block of Hampson. Well played. The mid-air adjustment ties it up.
Yeah, and if I were BYU, I wouldn't even have jumped to block on this because Franti, while she's late, she doesn't even go up to swing. BYU giving up an easy play. Never should have been like that. Hampson should have stayed on the ground.
Backs at Hampson. Wide point Penn State. Kendall Pierce trying to serve the Nittany Lions to set point. Robbins Hardy, the quick in the middle, slowed down by Grant. Whitney. Back to Young, and good defense by the Nittany Lions. Courtney.
Also
good dig by Parker. And the kill. Timber Nobles.
Boy, you said it, that Penn State had a great swing to get to set point, but Parker comes up with a nice defense in the backcourt for BYU.
And now she'll serve to try and get to set point. Hancock to Whitney. And it falls wide, and now it's the Nittany Lions with a chance to serve for the set and a 2-0 lead.
I think Jen Hampson here.
Robbins Hardy instead goes to Boswell, and she gets it.
And what a save by Robbins Hardy. This ball is too close to even get 2 hands on it. She puts it up in the air, and Boswell finishes. Now the best server for BYU at the line.
Hampson with the service error, and it's another set point for Penn State.
So you go from the best server to the toughest rotation on offense, receiving serve. No Alexa Gray in the front, Hampson in the backcourt. Penn State in a great position here to finish this out.
That could be a very costly miss. Here's Lacey Fuller. Robbins Hardy to Boswell, tried the tip. Washington smacked it back. Hampson didn't have the best of angles on it. They may get her another chance. No, they'll go the other way. Nobles blocked, and Penn State takes the set. And the defending champs have a 2-0 lead.